This is NDTV and you are watching NDTV Prime.
Tonight, we bring you stories of what happens when art meets conflict, and they take place across India, from Delhi to Agra to Ahmedabad. Plus, we tell you about some upcoming events happening in the art world, and we hear a word from Mojarto.com. Keep watching, it's going to be a very exciting episode. This is On Art. Priyas Shakti is a superhero comic book series about a girl who was sexually assaulted. Now, the authors have come out with a sequel called Priyas Mirror, which is about acid attack victims. We caught up with the illustrator of these comic books, Dan Goldman, and talked to him about his time in India and what's next for Priya. "25,000 women are sexually assaulted in India annually. 1,000 women are acid attack victims each year, and that number is growing. Experts assert the real statistics are much, much higher, but go unreported. But how does one speak to a population in pain and silence? Surprisingly, 2 comic books are finding resonance with women across the country. The first book, Priyas Shakti, follows a young South Indian woman who is gang raped in her village. The comic book then follows her as she takes the event in her stride and becomes a fighter for women and girls. We met Dan Goldman, the illustrator of Priyas Shakti, where he was promoting the next installment in the series, Priyas Mirror.
Priya's Mirror is the second book, and the idea is that Priya's still out there. Her mission has continued since the last time we saw her, and she's in a different part of the country, and she comes upon a young man who's very upset, and he tells her about a castle full of acid attack survivors that are being held possibly by captive by this demon king Ahankar, and she goes to investigate, and things are not what they seem. Priya uses this mirror that she receives from Parvati to show these women that their lives have basically been frozen since the attacks, and that they have been reduced to a victim and cease to be the women that they always were, with dreams and hopes and complex interior lives, using the mirror they see themselves again, and they kind of awaken back into the lives that were on hold. Of course, it's reminiscent of Durga, the woman on the tiger, but there's a subversion there instead of Priya holding weapons and ready to kick ass, she's holding a mirror, and she's reflecting some truth back at us, and I feel like that's really interesting.
Dan Goldman, alongside Ram Devineni and Paramita Vora, who wrote Priya's Mirror, spent time at Shiro's Cafe in Agra, meeting victims of acid attacks who now work in a world-renowned restaurant.
I'm Lakshmi from Stop Acid Attacks. पहले घूंघट करके निकलती थी, फिर बुर्खा पहनने लगी थी, फिर उसके बाद सब ओपन कर दिया, और उसके बाद मैं चलने लगी. मुझे लोगों ने इतना टॉर्चर किया, इतना कुछ कहा मुझे लोगों ने, लेकिन मैं आज थैंकफुल हूँ, क्योंकि उन्होंने मुझे नेगेटिव बनाने की कोशिश किया, बट मैं उसके अपोजिट निकल गई, और उसके बाद मैं अपने लुक पे ध्यान देने लगी, और मुझे लगने लगा कि मैं बहुत स्मार्ट हूँ, मुझ में कोई कमी नहीं है, तो आई लव माई फेस, और मैं ओपन होकर बाहर निकलने लगी.
The comic book is decidedly Indian, from its colors to its characters. Goldman, who lives in Los Angeles, immersed himself in Indian influences in order to create a visual language for the books.
There's digital drawing, painting, and collage and photography that are all kind of mashed together to form these pages, and I think that gives it a very kind of sort of like a Amar Chitra Katha. When I did the first book, Priya Shakti, I had never been to India. And my first time in India was when we launched it. So all that research was done in Brooklyn. So I had just immersed myself in films, music, comics, graphic design, movie posters, anything you can imagine, food, incense, you know. I really kind of like tried to put my heart and my soul in India while I was finishing other projects.
You were method illustrating.
I was method illustrating. And with this book, it's more Rajasthani, more Gujarati, and like the fabrics that all the women wear, all the acid attack victims.
Priyas Shakti was the country's first augmented reality comic book. And Priyas Mirror is an augmented reality comic book as well. Readers can download the Blipar app to experience even more from the short books. In addition, murals of Priya are painted across the country, though many have been vandalized by detractors.
That's different. That used to say Blipar, and it's been defaced since I've been here. When we had our unveiling here in Connaught Place, there was a politician who came down and started to speak, kind of take over our media setup. And they were giving it was a woman who was giving a speech to our cameras and trying to ally herself with what we were doing, and we weren't having it.
But there is much more to be done, and the Priyas Shakti team is eager to move forward.
Her journey is far from over, and I think that once we decided that that her mission was going to continue, because of the state of this sort of patriarchal reality that most of the world lives in, there's a lot more work to do.
Priyas Mirror officially launches at New York Film Festival, and if you want to fully experience this augmented reality comic book, then download the Blipar app to experience it in a whole different way. But if you can't make it to New York, there are still a ton of art events happening right here in India. Here are your upcoming events happening in the art world this week.
Bengaluru Comic Con 2016. Comic Con India is part of the Reach Pop family of events, which is dedicated to producing world-class celebrations of popular culture around the world. It's on 12th and 13th of November 2016 at KTPO Convention Centre, Bengaluru. Delhi Art Exhibition Krishan Khanna. Saffron Art, India's premier auction house, cordially invites you to the opening of new gallery in New Delhi with an inaugural exhibition of recent works by celebrated artist Krishan Khanna. It's from 3rd to 13th of November 2016. Visit Saffron Art at the Claridges, New Delhi. Gujarat Ran Utsav 2016-2017. Ran Utsav is a celebration of life, festivities and culture of Kutch and Gujarat. It is a quirky and eccentric festival that showcases the enlightening wonders of Kutch. It's from 1st November 2016 to 20th February 2017 at Ran Utsav, Bhuj. Uttarakhand Dharamshala International Film Festival. India's most eclectic celebration of contemporary independent world and Indian cinema is back for its 5th year. It's from 3rd to 6th November at Tibetan Children's Village School, Dharamshala.
If you want us to feature your upcoming art event in this space, then let us know. Email onart@ndtv.com and you might just see your event right here. After the break, OnArt visits the Conflictorium in Ahmedabad, and we hear a word from mojarto.com. Keep watching. OnArt will be right back.